studying a very unique canon by Johann Sebastian Bach, who was probably one of the most influential composers of all times. And what's really special about this canon today is it's entirely based on mathematics. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Excellent. Give yourself a round of applause. Very good.
When you see this number, 20, on the road sign, what does that mean? 20 miles per hour is your speed limit. That's a ratio too, because it's 20 to 1. It's 20 miles per 1 hour. That's the relationship of those two numbers.
And it's a very special ratio because it's a unit.
Exactly. That's what we want to talk about you next, is the thing called unit rate. We want to find out what the basic ratio is that relates to number 1. So for example, my grandma Ruth takes 8 minutes to walk 4 blocks. Okay? So how many minutes does it take for her? This is a little math problem for all you geniuses. How many minutes does it take for her to walk 1 block? I see 3 hands, 2 hands, 3 hands. Okay, let's hear someone who we haven't heard before. How about you?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Thank you so much. It takes her 2 minutes. How do we find that? How did you know that?
I actually did ratios and incorporated.
Did ratios? Okay. Then this is all easy, old stuff for you. Good. Well, wait till we get to the more difficult stuff. Don't worry. Okay. So it took her 2 minutes to walk 1 block. Again, the ratio of 2 to 1. That's the unit rate of her speed. Now, in the piece we just played, in Bach's melody, there is also a unit rate. And Bach plays around with that unit rate a little bit. The basic melody has, you see, these little circles and lines. For those of you who've never looked at music, these are notes. Okay? Those are notes. And they are in little boxes, right? In little blocks, separated by these lines. Okay? And so how many notes do we have in each little box?
We have 2 notes.
2 notes per 1 box, right? We call these boxes measures in music. They measure time. Right? So we have the unit rate of Bach's melody is 2 to 1.
What do you think the rate of this melody is now? I'll take a hand all the way in the back.
8 to 1.
Excellent. 8 to 1. And this is what it sounds like with the 2 to 1 melody. You guys are great. And this is what it looks like. I really like those graphs. They look like lightning bolts. So this is what the 2 to 1 melody, the longest one, against the 8 to 1.
Now, the reflected melody is literally upside down. So it's going over the x-axis, or the axis of reflection in mathematical vocabulary. And can you go back a slide? Yeah, there we go. Let's listen to how it sounds as the reflected melody. Beautiful. So let's look at the graph. It literally is upside down. So instead of starting at the top, it starts at the bottom and goes up. So let's actually trace it in the air and sing it together. La, la, la. Beautiful. So you're going to just dip your finger inside this paint, and you are going to just put your fingerprint on each one of these lines here. So there are 8 of them to reflect each note in the melody.
Good. You can add more paint if you want on each of the dots. Just
Yeah.
be very generous.
Yeah,
It's the
cut
holiday
down.
season. We want to be generous with the finger paint. If you want to add, then we're going to print on top of another. Want to help us just like
Really
that?
push
Yeah,
down.
exactly. Great. All right. Let's see.
See how it turns out.
Ta-da!
Magic!
And we have very good. Excellent. We already know that we can play this melody at a 4-to-1 rate. So what he did is he assigned the 4-to-1 rate to the reflective melody, and it sounds like this against the 2-to-1. So using the same material, somehow he was able to do that. And then he also did the same, and this is what it looks like on the graphic, and I love those graphs.
So, as composers, we need you to choose for each one of us which version of the melody you'd like to hear and in what order you'd like us to start. So, beautiful Pascal, what would you, which version out of these 4 would you like Pascal to play? There's no wrong answers.
Of course. You make me work too much.
Okay, and then me, what would you guys like me to play on the oboe? What about you?
Guess which one was I doing? What was my rate? Yes?
You and the for
Let me play it for you. What was it?
8.
Yes, 8-to-1. Very good. It's not. In addition to changing the rate, what did you do to the melody to make it different? Yes. Exactly. You reflected it. You guys are great. Fantastic.